Thank you, sir, and thank you, Sonia. Our senior head boy, Hari P. Narayanan, has been with our school right from his kindergarten days. And over the years, he's evolved into a fine teenager who's very rooted to the ground, though his aspirations are set amongst the stars. A boy with a single-minded devotion to his studies, he is also a gifted musician. And today, he will share his reminiscences about his school life and also propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sri Jyoti Miss, for those wonderful words. Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Justice Sri Devan Ramachandran, Director BBB Kochi, Sri E. Raman Kutti, and Ramachandran sir, PTA President Sri Vrinda Raghu, dignitaries of the dais, Principal, Vice Principal, teachers, invited guests, and friends. Namaste to one and all. That very first sentence seems to evoke so many memories of the nervy, flurried introductions to the countless speeches we've heard and delivered upon this hallowed pedestal. As we stand here on the cusp of completing our secondary school education, there is no better time to recollect the events that have imprinted our years and years of schooling so firmly in our minds. The memories themselves are not crystal clear by any means, but the emotions behind them are. Let me explain my perspective. I've been here for 14 years. As I worked my way up the grades, I've been exposed to almost every cultural, sporting, and academic activity available to us, and I have far too many memories to do justice to in these few words. With that being said, let me make a valiant effort to put into language exactly how much each stage of my school life means to me, how much it would mean to my batchmates as well. The toddler years of our ABCs, Do-Re-Mis, and 1-2-3s passed by in a wink. There were laughter and tears in harmony with each other. Successive, ceaseless, our only emotional outlet. Days of no responsibility and infinite time. Fast forward to the 5th and 6th standards, we began discovering our talents and abilities, fostered by the perfect encouragement of our teachers. Explorers of the world around us, the magnitude of our actions grew apparent. This was around the time we were introduced to house activities, something we saw at the time as a way to take a break from our studies. In reality, these activities built a sense of camaraderie and brotherhood amongst team members. It encouraged the productive competitiveness that we will need for our futures. We really learned to identify with our house and our colors and strive for achievements and ideals with a united group. The frolic and devotion of Ramayana Week is embedded in our minds, and our antics could be the subject of several other speeches as well. As early teens, awkward, self-conscious ones at that, secondary school was an unpredictable mix of fun and drama, probably both at the same time. Those were the days when we found ourselves in our passions, both academic and otherwise. We were quizzers, athletes, musicians, socialites, nerds, any other social faction you'd care to mention. On a more serious note, the concepts of practice and commitment sowed their seeds in our minds as we strove to get the best out of our pursuits. The Kalakshetra and the ground were never far away from our thoughts. I think I speak for quite a few of us when I say that we probably spend more time at the Kalakshetra and the ground than in our class. After we had matured a little more, we were faced with few challenges. The curriculum grew tougher but more rewarding. Activities were more organized, but our approach to them remained the same. We were introduced to those legendary inter-school festivals, the exclusive destination for the talent pool of our school. And we attended them with gusto, competing for accolades, bragging rights, and satisfaction. Athletics meets, science exhibitions, sports tournaments, cultural fests, the list goes on and on. It's quite mind-boggling to note the effort that our school made to encourage our participation in these events and thus to build our characters. Then came the bombshell that was 11th standard. The batch was reshuffled and so were we. We had to rethink our approaches to pretty much everything, from academics to other pursuits. Everything was more intense, especially our schedules. This was the year that Model United Nations came into our school, and it added another dimension to our already enviable repertoire of co-curriculars. A WHO committee will be fondly remembered by the attendees for sure. That Bhavans Cup, our inter-school basketball tournament, came like any other year, but this year was a special one, where both the boys and the girls teams won. For the first time in our memories, simultaneously. The cheering, and the celebrations will go on in our minds long after we leave. There was Pratiksha, an opportunity like no other to host an inter-school of our own. We in the 11th conducted in tandem with the 12th, leading to its own advantages and disadvantages. An interesting side effect was that the group photo had to be taken from a terrace. No terrestrial based lens would be wide enough for all of us. Finally, in our last year here, academics took top priority. Our classrooms and labs became our haunts, even during break times. We had our fun, of course, but toned down, subdued, more responsibly. Friendships were stronger than ever, and our perspectives shifted in the right manner. It is still slightly difficult to pronounce that our formal schooling days are over. Our association with the Institute is not merely entering and leaving its gates. School has become, over the years, the most loved and trusted part of our lives. There are so many ties linking us with each and every aspect of the school. It is hard, very hard, to realize that we are leaving. Through everything that we'll face in our lives ahead, I believe that it is what we learned at school that will get us through it. No, I don't just mean the classrooms, but the entire holistic experience from 7:45 to 2:45. The support of our principal, vice principal, teachers, and every single person in the school has just been so genuine to us, and we feel that love every day. The school has molded us into who we are today, and our gratefulness is undying. Let me move on to the other duty assigned to me today, the formal vote of thanks. I begin by thanking our Chief Guest, the Honorable Justice Sri Devan Ramachandran, for his vital presence here. We are grateful to you for taking the time to return to our school and grace this function. Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to thank Sri E. Raman Kutty, our director, and Advocate Ramachandran Menon for their presence here and their constant and invaluable support in all our activities. Thank you, sirs. I'd like next to thank the PTA President, Srimati Vrinda Raghu, for her contributions and presence at this function. We are grateful to our principal and vice principal for giving us all their support and guidance through the years. I thank Minnie Miss, our school's staff secretary, for her wonderful words. I thank all the dignitaries of the dais for gracing this function. The work of our teachers is what gave this event life, and I thank the teachers for their support. I thank all the guests, parents, relatives, and friends who are here today to celebrate our 44th annual day. I thank my classmates and I thank everyone else in my school. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari, for that very vibrant speech. We have now come to